upwards. Let's see if I can. Thank you, Anne. It's nice of you to join me. Thank you for the updates. Unfortunately, the aspect ratio seems to be a little bit off. I don't really particularly like the way that the thing cuts the feed, but it is what it is. You can maybe only see my face, half my face. I can be all mysterious, Batman like. Yeah. I'm sorry, that was so bad. My body started purging instantaneously. Joy Viv and Shannon and Nana. It's day 647. It's day 647, Shannon. I only realized as I was going live, more 47s. Thank you, dear friends, for joining me. It's so nice to have you here. It's like Yossi. Shoot. I don't know if that is true what I just saw, but love you, friend. Thank you for joining me. It's so cool to have you friends here on another day. I want to talk about the final decision. What's up? Yo, dude. Nothing but beauty, man. Greenery everywhere, some warmth, some calm. How about you? What's up with you, friend? Do let me know. It's nice to have you here. Hey to you, Carte. Thank you for joining me too. The final decision. I'm gonna read us something worth saying as we're getting started. This is the one. We use our momentary consciousness to say we are this and not that. I feel it's the most beautiful thing we're saying we could have actually gotten to. We use our momentary consciousness to say we are this and not that. I believe, I believe we are at a precipice, at a turning point, at a paradigm shift, at a crossroads where we have to make a decision. We have to make the final decision. And that decision is going to be one of accepting our unity, you know, to make the decision that this is the way it is, right? We have made the decision that we are all separate, we hate one another, we're gonna rob one another of resources, we're going to invade each other's countries, we're going to try and take back land from ourselves to give to ourselves, we're going to fight each other with cyber warfare, droids, human beings with guns. Like we've made that decision and look where it got us, here we are. And now I feel we're at this crossing point where we have to make the decision to be else, right? To be something else, to be in another way. And I feel the only decision for us to make is to be differently. Like it's no longer serving us. It's no longer serving us to hate one another. It's no longer serving us to create this sense of separation. So I don't know if we can continue to. Is this your first stream? Technically the second one. It's nice to have you here though. Favorite food? Stir fry. Thank you for asking. It's nice to have you, friend. How was the podcast, Mel? It was wonderful, Chavan. It was so much fun. Gary is one of us. One of us. One of us. 100% one of us, like just having a conversation with him. I don't know if I didn't smile during the whole podcast. It was just this genuine giddy joy, being able to communicate, being able to have a conversation with someone that I know thinks and understands in the same way that we do. And it just gave me this hope again for the future and for what it is we're going into. Like if there are people like us that exist at all, then there are more, you know, because not all of us have the luxury, have the willingness, have the time, have the will or the want, to do live streaming and stuff like that. But there are a lot of us, human beings, connecting with other human beings for the sake of connecting with other human beings so that there can be connection between human beings, you know? And it's good. What's up? Nothing much, Tyron. It's nice to have you here too. Gabriel, thank you for joining me as well. It's so nice to have you friends here. Hey, Jasmine! It's been a while, dear friend. It's all about love and positivity for me today. Yeah. Yeah, Jasmine, make that decision. Take that decision to heart to choose to be loving today. And I feel I feel if we can all just make that decision, it really is that simple. I feel like that's the point I'm trying to convey today, is that it's not going to be difficult. That it might have been for the longest time because we somehow could convince ourselves that we're separate from this perspective of survival. We had to survive, and we had to convince ourselves we're separate in order to survive. But we're no longer in that age. We no longer exist in the world where we have a scarcity of resources. We have enough food to feed the world. We have enough people to take care of everyone. We just have to make the decision to. And I believe we will. Do you stream a lot? I stream every day, dear friend. I love it so much. I love you so freaking much that I do this every single day and I'll never stop. What is final? The final decision is to choose love, right? Like once you've gone through all of the other options, stabbing people, shooting people, stealing from people, mm, hating myself, hating my family members, hating my animals, hating the world. Right? That after you go through all of that nonsense, after all of that bullshit melts away, you find yourself in love, right? And that is the final decision. It's the final choice to make, is whether or not you want to continue existing in that state of love or not. And this is a point we made on the podcast yesterday. It seems that the only way for us to come to that decision is to be in pain, to be in an extreme amount of pain, and it seems that we are in that pain right now. We're going through that pain right now in a way that we are all collectively feeling. And that pain is going to push us towards love. The final decision of love, the final decision to unite, the final decision to stop telling ourselves stories of separation and to actually just be. Just to be. Do I play games? Occasionally. Not right now, since my PC kicked the bucket, or my SSD kicked the bucket. I'm waiting for feedback on whether or not they'll send me a new one. I'll probably have to buy a new one. I just need a little bit more cash, like $60. I need like $60. I'll get there soon enough, before the end of the month, I'm sure. Nice decision made. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for making the decision too, Toast Malos. How are you, Brother Bay? Are you excited for right now? Is it happening right now? Are you at the festival right now? Are you back from the festival right now? Let me know, Toast Man. Thank you, Jovan, for sending that love right back. Again, it's so nice to have you, friends. Sparking up some flour for the first time in a few days, enjoying the sunrise as I'm soaking in the birds chirping, listening to the hippy bippy. Yeah. Thank you for listening to me, Toasty. I appreciate that, dear friend. It really is an honor. And it's an honor to be able to spend moments like these with you, friends. Today's yoga session was absolutely blessed. We did a silent practice, and I just had this deep, deep sense of breathing. Moving through every pose with deep appreciation. Are you a cat person or a dog person? I am everything. Doger, Doger. And then I have a kitty there as well. Yeah, Kas. It's too hot to be opening eyes right now. I am a people person first, dear friend. What's up? It's nice to have you friends here. Thank you for joining me. Ask me questions. Ask me good questions. I want you to ask me questions that will shatter my entire world. I want to sit here and contemplate for trillion years and still not be able to answer you. That's the type of questions I want you to be asking me. Hit me. Hit me. Oh, it's the full moon too. It is. It is the full moon today. Where's the full moon? I think it's gonna come over that horizon. Maybe a little bit later. I think it might. Mm, we'll check. We'll check. It might probably be up by the time we're close to finishing streaming. You are everything, everywhere, all at once, maybe. Maybe. Maybe Toast. I'm happy that you watched that movie, man. Has it been spending some, or what's the word? Has it been living rent free in your brain? What is the weirdest food you've eaten? Eels. I've eaten eels, slimy eels. Like I hope, I'm not gonna project actually. Turn that projection off right now. It is a full moon today. I'm looking forward to it. Maxine, I see. I see you, my friend. Thank you for joining me. The moon wasn't full last night, just almost, I guess. Yeah, it was just almost full. It was very bright last night. I had a moment where I walked underneath the cover of night, and there was some cloud coverage. And it was so bright that it kind of had an esque of daylight, shining through the clouds. And I just stared up in a state of awe, thinking about the fact that every single time it's a full moon, it's almost like we get a whole day. Thinking about the fact that human beings have this weird way of reacting when it is a full moon, how we we can be crazy. We can be crazy. We do stupid things sometimes during full moons. And I wonder about that. I wonder about why it is human beings would react in that way. Is there something the moon does to us, or is it the former? The fact that during our hunter gatherer, you know, stage of existence, we would quite literally have to go, could potentially go and hunt during the full moon. So there's like a neuronal activity, like an willingness to be active, and then as a result of our difference, having transcended that way of living, finding ourselves in ultra modernity, we're like, what are we supposed to do with ourselves? And then we do stupid things sometimes, some crazy stuff. What type of music do you listen to? I listen to psychedelic trance, progressive psychedelic trance, preferably, you know, and then and then in the same song, needs to have multiple different beat variations. Then I'm happy. How about you, friend? What do you listen to? It was a masterpiece of a movie. Very theatrical. Would be a killer Broadway play. Hmm. I've never seen a Broadway. Have I? Hmm. Mm, I think I might have watched something like a Broadway play. It was about a band, and the singer had a, a s- a fine voice. I'm butchering it right now. He had a fine voice, and the kind of like Broadway show was about him having this voice and then being integrated into this group, and then they would travel from city to city, giving their shows, and like it was kind of nice, just listening to them sing was quite an experience. But that was a long time ago. I think I was 14. Oh goodness. Oh man. 14 was a decade ago. Oh man. A decade ago. I was a whole different person. We've been different people this whole time. We're going to continue to be. Melty, you're gonna trip out when you read my Discord reply. Sober October has turned into something so powerful. I honestly feel kind of wired, I feel I feel like I'm losing my mind while also gaining a new sense of mind at the same time. It's like a it's like an acceleration that's happening in my neural activity ceaselessly, and I've been taking some time to be calm in my off time. I've been taking time to consciously breathe. I've been taking time to create reality distortion fields. With every single breath I take, the reality distortion field expands yet more. I have already encapsulated our entire galaxy, but it's going to take me a few more trillion years to encapsulate the entire conceivable universe, and then a few more trillion years to encapsulate the everything, the everywhere, all at the same time. Or maybe we already are. Maybe we already are. Who knows? You might like Avenue Q? Maybe. It's a silly crude play where actors use Muppet style puppets to perform. That sounds sick. I love that. 14 was 22 years ago for me, 2 decades ago. Hot damn. Still, still here now, Maxine. So much time has passed, and yet here we are, exactly as we've been, yet completely different. Change, maybe that is also a choice we have to make. I guess that is the final choice we have to make the choice to change, to make the choice to not be in the same way that we've been, right? And we've tried it. We've really tried it. What's your favorite TV show? It depends. It depends. Recent, recent favorite TV show? Cyberpunk Edge Runners. Definitely not for the faint of heart. Definitely not so. But very much vibe, Especially watching it from this perspective of becoming aware of what might be if we aren't aware, Like it's a little bit of an intimidating future we're heading into. And if we don't practice a lot of awareness, we might mess ourselves up, you know? And it's gonna be a messing up of ourselves where we create a world that is so desensitized to the individual, And I don't want to see that happen. I refuse to, even. I refuse to see that happen. What movies do you like? Movies that make me feel things. The more I feel watching something, the more I felt watching it. Yeah, yeah. that's that's the type of movies I like. One of my favorite movies that I watched recently is The Sea Beasts. Just watching it from this perspective of, again, transcending old ways, making a decision to be differently, even when it's a jarring decision to make. Like we talked about that a little bit yesterday, where as soon as we make the decision to be differently, it can be so difficult for us to know who we are at the other side of that, where we choose to be in a different way, and yet it becomes like I'm tripping out just trying to think about it. The world is going to change for it, you know like, and it's like a as above so below type of thing that's coming up in my mind, where you don't see the world as it is, you see the world as you are, right? So if we change ourselves, if we make the decision to change ourselves, the entire world as a result will change for it as well. And if not only you are different, but the entire world around you is different as well, that is a lot. That is a lot for some people to try and fathom, for some people to try and integrate with. And it makes perfect sense why we've had such a hard time doing it. I'm not surprised at all, but I believe we are. We are. Are you on RPAN right now? Nope. RPAN's broken, dude. RPAN no longer worky. RPAN be brokey. I just watched 4 episodes last night, Edge Runners. What do you think, dude? What do you think, Toast? You're right. You're right. I watched Neil deGrasse Tyson talk about the change in Earth's gravitational pull during the full moon. That it becomes oblong, which causes the waves in the ocean. He asked, "What if the effect? What if it affects?" He he asked that if it affects water, and humans are mostly water, how does it affect us? The tides, not the waves. Yeah, 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 yeah. So it like literally creates like a spherical, no, not spherical, like a lopsided, right? Elongated thing. Like the high tides is literally the moon pulling on our oceans, creating like these bulges on our sides. And as you mentioned, we're mostly water. I mean, I've been talking about the whole magnetic fields thing on stream for a long time. I believe We, like our heart, for example, generate these magnetic fields as well. Our Earth as a whole generate these magnetic fields. We have a molten core melting over itself, putting out these magnetic fields. Without that, we would literally be blasted by cosmic background radiation and photons and UV radiation to the point where it would just be a desolate wasteland. So magnetic waves quite literally keep us alive. Your cell phone right now. Electricity doesn't flow in the same way that water does, where molecules push molecules through the medium or through the pipe or through the wire. No. As soon as you connect a source, an electric source, it generates a magnetic field around the entire circuit, pulling the electrons through it with that magnetic field. And that shiznit is happening in your brain. It's happening in your brain right now. So, I mean, if the earth is outputting those magnetic waves, your heart is outputting those magnetic waves with every single beat, your brain outputting those magnetic waves, the moon outputting those magnetic waves, the sun, the entire conceivable universe is acting on you right now. I don't think it's possible for us to even conceive just how much influence we have versus how much influence the world has on us. Makes it even more jarring to make the decision to change, to make the decision to take action and to almost like be the one that's responsible. Oh yeah, where was where R was like the ocean is practically sliding under the ocean. The Yes, Toast. Yes. Basically sliding under the oceans because it's like solid and the water has a viscous viscosity to it. Still sticky, but kind of like moving around with it. It was super interesting. I love it. It's so beautiful. The full moon brings up deeper emotions. It can also like I want Toast to continue watching, but there's like a whole they kind of go into tarot with cyberpunk as well, like in the actual cyberpunk game you can find like these tarot cards scattered throughout the universe. And one of the cards is the full moon, and the full moon is supposed to remind you of dreams, of the illusion, that the moon technically doesn't generate light of its own. It just reflects the light of the sun back to you. Realize that you're the same, right? You're also reflecting the light of the whole, the light of the infinity back to each other here right now. The fact that you're seeing me isn't because I am generating a light in and of myself and putting it into this thing and then forcing it into your eyes. No, the consciousness that you are is open, generating that experience, generating that light, allowing this to happen. Namaste to you too, G. It's nice to have you here with me. Thank you for joining me. It's cool to have you. The full moon has me feeling energized and hyper aware, but there have been some where they made me cry my eyes out. The full moon usually brings interpretation for me. It brings me to a state of mindfulness, and it can push me to irritability and temperament. Like I can be a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if aggressive is the right word. Maybe it can get me to be a little bit more aggressive. Maybe it's the warrior in me flaring up. It's my favorite style of anime. It's gorgeous. The stoppy. It's Trigger, right? Studio Trigger. They make world-shattering stuff, dude. Like all of their stuff is amazing. But the choppy, sketchy style is right up my alley. I can't get enough of it. The voice acting could be better. Overall, I'm really liking the show. Keep watching, Brother Bear. It is it's beautiful. I played the game, then watched the show, and then started playing the game again. And playing the game after watching the show, for some reason, the game became exponentially better, where now I'm really enjoying the game. And I kind of want to continue playing. It bums me out that I can't right now. But it's just temporary, I'm sure. I've been a bottle of sob lately, Beans. Moon be like, give me your emotion waters. Yeah, it's like, yeah. Put all this water out of you. Here's your mother. I'm imagining Javan just like standing underneath the full moon, crying, and instead of her tears flowing down her skin, it's just like going up to the moon. It's kind of beautiful. The full moon is in Aries, bringing a great amount of energy, and that can be either positive or a little negative, depending on your perception. All you see is what you are. Are you wanna see the negative or are you gonna see the good? Where you at, bro? I see crow, cows, mountains, and all that good stuff. I'm in South Africa, dear friend. I'm in South Africa. It is hot, but it is beautiful. Birds be chirping. My family is here. I've been raised here. The people genuinely care about one another and love one another and realize that the only way forward is to support one another. Gives me hope. Gives me a lot of hope. God bless SA. Absolutely. We need all the blessings we can get. At least they turned off load shedding for now, which is fantastic. Kind of excites me even. Speaking of anime, have you seen Akira, Toasty? I wasn't a fan of anime until I saw it. I don't think I've even seen Akira. Are you a water sign, Jovan? My Venus is in Cancer, so my heart is constantly weeping. Akira, that one raked me a little. A great one. I'll have to check it as well. Akira. I think I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. Right, Jovan. Oh man, sending you hugs. Thank you. Akira, classic. The Akira slide is a legendary influence. Oh, okay, I know Akira. I do know Akira. Yes. Like I think like literally 100 plus animes have replicated the Akira slide. Quite literally. Scorpio Shan? Oh, not that Scorpio. Maybe. Lol, that's the exact order. I'm playing. Yeah, and watching. Good, dude. Good, good, good. Have fun with it, man. Like, immerse yourself completely in that world so that we don't have to, you know. And it's like, sure, it's great to imagine, but I don't know if we want to be. Like, it would be cool to have cyber arms, you know, have a cannon attached to my physical body. Very cool, you know. Oh, someone wants to attack me. I have a cannon. I have cannons for arms, but I don't ever want to be faced. I know, not really, not as the version of myself that I am, but I ever want to be faced with the decision to use my cannon arms. All right, I'm thankful that you were warm, cause that means I'm finally cool. Yeah. Yow! Put sunglasses over the glasses. Put sunglasses over the glasses over the glasses. Water signs are so damn intuitive. Of course she is. I've always loved being reminded of that perceptive duality. I have the summer back. Nay, we don't want it. I've learned that my bipolar is also affected by the moon. Full moon equals manic and depressive equals depressive. We're here with you, Susanna. Keep breathing, keep showing up. We'll see the other side of the full moon too. Is there a Sangha today? There is. There will surely be a Sangha today. I'm looking forward to joining you there a little bit later, Jovan. Joy Vive, if you want to join us as well. People are really, really publicly open about their electronic flashlights. Yeah, that's what I think one of the most jarring parts of the cyberpunk universe is. I mean, and that is technically a part of the whole cyberpunk lore. Excuse me. Like the depravity has reached a point where sex and masturbation is seen as ordinary as you sitting on your cell phone in public, you know? And like it's a little bit jarring. It's a little bit jarring. And it makes sense. It makes sense how if we continue to, sorry little animal, dude bit me. So if you assault my body, I'm sorry. You're gonna have to get perished. Like I've weirdly enough, I feel like that is in a way kind of like tangential to the thing I'm trying to say. it's a little bit jarring, brother babe. You know, the fact that I don't know if I want to spoil to any of the friends watching. Let me just say in so many words, the fact that we will, and we technically are right now, letting people die. Straight up, just let them die if they don't have insurance. It's like, oh yeah, sure, we have this life-saving technology, but you know, no. How about you die because you can't afford to live? Like we cannot go there. I refuse. Oh, I absolutely refuse to reach that point in humanity. And it's gonna be again our choice, though. That's the trip. Oh, that really is the trip. It's gonna be our choice whether or not we find ourselves in that reality or not. And I can't see myself there. I can see myself there, right, within the game world, but how do we make the right decisions to not reach that point is the question for me. Oh, yes, Susanna. I read about a study on that. It's so crazy, actually. Take the moon back, use the energy, and flip the script. Yeah. Give me all the energy, moon. I'll take it. I'll take everything. I'll channel the energy wow, into the earth. Wow, out of the earth. Back into the universe. Into me. Into the earth. Earth, back to the universe. This torus field that every single one of us are creating, intersecting with one another, intersecting with our planet, intersecting with the infinity ceaselessly. The fact that you are means that you are, right? There could be infinite nothing, but instead, there is infinite you. It's quite a trip. It's quite beautiful. Mmm, that's wild. That part barely phased me. In America, that's how it is. I know, dude. That part, I mean, it's that way here as well, but it can't be. Oh, it like it is, but I don't understand how we're allowing for it. I believe that we're going to be entering an age of like bioengineering, biomedicine, like treating people based on genetics. So you're going to get your DNA, your genome sequenced, and then you'll have your sequenced genome either on a database or on your device. And then you will go to medical care facilities. They will look at your sequenced genome and then make medical decisions based on your sequenced genome, sequence new medicines specifically for you instead of going analog. Oh yeah, we're just gonna put this noise into your body and let's see what it does, right? All of these unattended side effects that it might have on your body because of your gene expression. We can kind of like reduce all of that noise and actually get it to do what we want it to. I used the moon phase tracker app and I read the daily horoscope just for fun. And according to that, today my lucky number is 74. That's too much. That's, please, man, please. That's like what? I think the fifth or the sixth synchronicity just today. Sorry, you are not the policy holder. Man, it's brutal. You will live and die in these streets without money. Yeah, literally. That looked familiar. That looked familiar? What looked familiar exactly? It's gonna be our choice. It's gonna be up to us to make the decision. And I'm really feeling what's happening in Iran right now. Like Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was first. I wonder if the powers that be, they probably are paying attention. You know, there's definitely a part of humanity that is no longer willing to tolerate bullshit. The Sri Lankans literally, took the president's house. They were like, "Yeah, we're gonna sleep in your bed and shit, though. Swim in your pool, eat your food, see if you can stop us." You know. And now the same is happening in Iran, where they're hacking the TVs, broadcasting messages over the TVs, telling people to join the protests. Even the police, some in certain places, even the police are joining the protests right now. We're reaching a precipice. Humanity is gonna arise. What movie can you rewatch over and over again? Not many. El Dorado. El Dorado, dude, that movie. Do you have any pets? Yeah, bunch. Can you sing? Occasionally. I have Pippi, I have Yudi, I have Eva, I have Shelby, I have Roxy, I have Ginger. Those are our three cats and our three doggos. How about you, friend? You have pets? Thank you. Hi to you too. Mercy, it's nice to have you. I'm an asparagus! Me too. I also want to be asparagus. Yes, cook me up. Toss me in some garlic butter. Chomp on me and feed yourself. Sustain your body. What are you doing to my brain, Gob? I love you, brother bear. It's nice to have you here. I'm a Taurus, so I can do it. Me too. I'm also a Taurus. So cool. The fours and sevens are always with me, everywhere. Get it? Ryan led me through that Taurus before. It's cool, huh, dude? I'm happy that you're tuning into it, brother bear. I've been missing you, friends. Some this week. We've been missing you too, Goo. It's nice to have you here in the now. Thank you for joining us. How are you feeling? How's life treating you? How are you treating you? I love your name. It's like Macklemore. Yes, level up, exactly. Melting more means to me, right? And I like to dabble in meditation and yoga and psychedelics and conversations that push me to a point where I no longer have the ability to fathom, right? Mind melting conversations, to say it in so many ways. And it's been this genuine process of realizing that we can melt, literally melt away, everything that we think we are, everything we've told ourselves we are, and yet still be the quintessential truth of love at the end of it. So that's my thing now, dude. Literally showing up to melt more and more and more and more. I also love your little Jerry curls. Thank you. They grow this way out of my head. Little oval hair follicles that spin in on themselves. I've jokingly said that it seems like my hair is trying to mimic DNA curls or DNA spirals. I feel like the powers that be are always observing, but they're also maintaining the balance of light and dark. Probably, probably, Maxine. Like a part of me wants to believe that maybe they're not malicious. You know, this is a thought I had recently where I was like, what if, just what if, the people that are controlling the world right now actually are good people, you know? And I know you're like, what Melt? What do you mean, Melt? Have you seen the state of the world? I know, but what if we had actual evil people, We would just be Mad Maxing right now or something. So I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. Lol, ovals. You're a little naturalistador. Yes, naturalistador. I don't know what that means, but I like it. Naturalistador. I've never heard that word before. Sounds like a superhero name. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it is the naturalistador. Flies over desolate wastelands and just plants, trees and flowers and generates oases, populates them with beautiful little birds. Yeah, vibrant communities of life, of love. What a banger, El Dorado. What a freaking banger. I think I've watched El Dorado over and over again more than any other movie I've ever watched. So, like when it comes to watching something over and over, El Dorado, the bromance. I have a homie like that. Tulio and oh man, I haven't watched it enough, clearly. I'm bad with names if I don't say them. Of course, they're good people. All people are good. They have just been corrupted and become out of touch and then lost. Yeah, corrupted and out of touch, I think, are good ways to describe it, right? Because unfortunately, for the longest time, we've been driven by survival. You know, that technically, at the most base level, the thing we're trying to do is gather food. I need to eat food, so I need to get money so I can buy more food, so I can eat the food and then I can survive. So I can make money, so I can eat the food, so that I can survive, so that I can make the money, so that I can eat the food. Right? Like that has been our state of existence for the longest time. And if you extrapolate that to the extreme, then greed, then corruption makes sense, right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's tolerable or okay, but it does make some sort of conceptual sense as to why that is the case, why that keeps happening. And it's going to be a choice to stop that behavior. That really is the joke. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to be impossible. It isn't impossible. It's just a choice. It's nice to have you here, Level Up. I think you're the first person who I feel is like a contributor, a co-creator. It's nice to have you, cause they all go in with pure intentions, but they're the ones who are like, don't ruin our way and don't threaten them. Yeah, people are comfortable living a certain life, experiencing the world in a certain way. Especially because we know how much suffering there is. If you're living a life of caviar and private jets, and there is this life of walking kilometers just to get yourself water, then there will be absolutely this resistance to change again. There will be this resistance to experiencing that side of life as opposed to the side of life that you're experiencing right now. To realize, and I believe this is what we're realizing right now, that we're not separate, that we're all the same entity experiencing from the same conscious perspective. And that if we can really acknowledge that, make that decision to try and make that conscious perspective for every single being as beautiful, as full as possible, it's going to change the world. And I believe the internet and electricity is in ways going to allow for that as well. Because how is someone supposed to ask for help if they cannot reach you, right? Like there are people out there who are suffering right now, but they're suffering on top of the fact that they're suffering the lack of communication, the lack of accessibility to the education, right? Like, how are we supposed to help people if we cannot educate them? How are we supposed to help people if we cannot reach them, both financially, intellectually, and physically, right? And I believe that's going to be one of my goals as well. Here in South Africa is where I'll start, but as I keep gaining influence and resources, I'm going to move into Africa, connecting people, taking people, not taking people, giving people the access to electricity through solar batteries. And I mean, Starlink is going to pop off as well, hopefully. There is nothing like watching a dude sitting in a pile of mosquitoes, drinking out of an ombre cup. Yes, 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 yes. This cup has been with me during this whole streaming career. We have a friend called Nova that tunes in as well, who called this cup Ermius. Ermius meaning God will uplift. And then I attached to it plur, almost like purple, plurple. Plur standing for peace, love, unity, and respect. So every sip of water I take it with this intention of reminding myself that God, the universe, source, you will uplift peace, love, unity, and respect. Every sip I take, peace, love, unity, and respect. Have you ever been out of the country? Quite a few times. Not recently. Hopefully soon again. Thank you for asking. One could argue that the president's house belongs to the public, and as the government of Sri Lanka is essentially bankrupt, the people came to repossess it, lol. Absolutely. You know, and the point I'm trying to make, Sovina, is that we are capable of that, right? Like the reason we're allowing society to be is because it is in some way still allowing us some comfort. But if we're going to reach a level of discomfort, we're going to make a collective decision to change things, right? And that change can be so abrupt and so destructive that the powers that be wouldn't be great off for it. So instead of us reaching that point, make the decision beforehand to take care of humanity. That's all we want. We want food to eat. We want a place to live. We want energy to be able to connect with the rest of the world. That is all. You know, we're not asking for Bugattis. We're not asking for gold, rings and, diamond chains. We don't need that shit. All we want, 47, right now in chat, Shannon. All we want is the bare minimum, right? And we have the bare minimum. The bare minimum is here. Here it is, right with us right now. It's just about making the decision to share it. I love South African guys. They're like hot white guys that speak English at 75% capacity. Yes. 75% capacity English speaking. I can speak a little bit worse English if I want to, but that's not exactly the way I speak. Thank you for joining me. Level up. You've been a pleasure, my dear friend. It's so nice to meet you. Yeah, that's broccoli. As holy, loving, and light as one side is, the other side of that depth is dark, negative, and evil. I hate that we can't have all the light. I feel if we had only light, it would just be, like I've had dreams like this as well, weirdly enough, Maxine, where in the dream state it's so bright that I can't open my eyes. I try to, but it's like, that feeling where it's like it's so bright your eyes are shutting themselves. And it might be in my biology, where I'm literally sleeping so my eyes are closed, and then my brain in this dream state is like, oh, my eyes are open, but then my biology is informing my body or my brain that no, in fact my eyes are closed. So it might be that, but it was and it has been this experience of it being so bright that I cannot open my eyes. So maybe some darkness can be good even. The fourth is with me, and I am with the fourth. Yeah, I'll get that force. Morning, friends. Connor! Just stopping by. Hope you're all doing well, Ski. Even better with you here with us. Thank you, Connor, for joining us. It's nice to have you here. Brokey. Brokey. Oh my goodness. Road to El Dorado is my all-time favorite as well. I know all the words. Tulio and give me the names. Give me the names. Please, Gobs. Indeed, Savina, you're my broccoli. I'm well, making my coffee, then going to the dark park. So I do be lurking. We love you, Brother Bear. Thank you for finding yourself here. Since asparagus is my favorite, it hurts me deeply that there's no asparagus emoji. I guess it's too phallic. It's probably too phallic to have a asparagus emoji, you know. The degenerates will use it to represent penises. We might. Are we the degenerates? Protein shake or cannabis emoji. Alcohol gets like fucking six, of course, dude. Brain worms. They're worming into our brain, trying to reduce us, trying to stop us from thinking about the future, trying to reduce our ambitions. Is it just me? The sound is cutting in and out. Oh, I'm really sorry to hear that. I don't know if I have a mute button to try and fix it. It's clear on my end, Joy. It's legal in more places, Toasty. It will continue to become more and more legal as well. Like we also won't tolerate that anymore. Cannabis leaves don't vary that much. That's true. I opened and closed the app. That fixed it. Good. Thank you, JV. I'm happy to still have you here. Why does legislation have to control my OS? Your operating system? Because it's mass manipulation, dude. Generations on generations of mass manipulations. we get to choose whether or not we want to be manipulated, though. I do believe, at least. I hope you're having a good weekend. So a tiger. Autocorrect the fiery depths. You can kidnap me. That's all right, Mel. Come. Come, Toast. South Africa is fully legal, dude. The entire country is green. To be like, yeah, come smoke. Come smoke the Mary Joannas. Lolo's here too, saying howdy do. Going to be going on a hike with some friends today. A little microdosing along the way. Oh, that sounds good to me, Lolo. Have a most blessed of time. I hope it's beautiful. Thank you for sharing even the insight with us. I'm sure it's going to be an amazing time. I'm happy to hear that, Tunes. My weekend has been busy, and the challenges are not getting the best of me. Yeah, get it. But I want, but I want a Bugatti. Just kidding. Wouldn't mind driving one once though. Exactly, right? Like create open source or what's the word? Crowdsourced Bugatti. Crowdsourced yachts. Instead of owning a yacht outright, go and use the yacht for a week, and then after finishing the week, and if you're respectful, taking care of the place, right, treating it like it is yours, then the next week the next person who gets to use it is happy to use it as well. Drive the Bugatti for a week and then give it to someone else so that they can have that experience as well. Having these things are great and all, but sharing them is so much better. Like we'll do a stream on that soon. That life is not something you control. Life is something you share. You know, that's all we want. We just want to share this experience. But there are people trying to control it, not realizing there's no such thing as control. Kind of makes me think of the Russian architecture, the bare minimum. Yeah, yeah, dude. It's uh, it's a little bit jarring sometimes, Toast. We know that there's a better way. That's what trips me out the most, Melty. I feel like most of the collective just wants to live peacefully, desiring healthcare, clean water, air, food, and love is not asking a lot. It's not. And I honestly believe, and this is the thing for me as well, Maxine, if we give those things to humanity, our output, our ability to generate wealth will increase, right? There will be more wealth, there will be more abundance, there will be more quality of life, there will be more joy, less crime, less health, degeneration, less, like all of the bullshit that we're facing right now. If we have these bare minimums, our entire world will thrive as a result of taking care of humanity. We won't lose anything for it. Enjoying this time with you beautiful friends. Me too, Shannon. It's making me so happy to spend this time. Melty, have you seen the Pixar movie Soul? Yes! I think you'd really like it. Makes me cry every single time. I have seen it. I love it. And like I've shared this now a while ago. Like last year, I think was the last time I really talked about it. Is the fact that these movies are made for kids, right? Technically, Maxine, and that these are the things that our 4 year, 5 year, 6 year, 7 year, up to my age are being exposed to right now. Seeing soul, seeing the purpose of life, seeing that life is the purpose of life. It's giving me a hope for the future generations. It's impossible for us to continue living in this way because we're going to make the decision that needs to be made. Hooties tears. I'm doing well, Fred. How are you today? It's nice to have you here with me. Cool. Wish me luck on the hike today. Mwah. Wishing you luck. Good amount of elevation, gain over some 4 to 5 hours. Look over that expansive universe. And please, Lolo, I know you will, but imagine just waves of love melting all over the world, gushing from your beingness onto all of us. Yes. Good luck, Lolo. That sounds fun. Yes, it does. That sounds so awesome. By the way, Mel, have you seen Joel since this morning? Has something happened since this morning? I saw Joel this morning, my morning, on the Haywire Hill subreddit. I sent him some vibes. Something happened, Savina. Let me know. Gotta run for a minute. What time's the sangha? See y'all there. It's gonna be 45 minutes from now, technically. So I'll see you there, Jovan. Looking forward to spending some time with you. Mojo 6 is here too. Exactly, Maxine. It's all the wealthy nations relocated their military budgets towards those things that most people want. It'd be enough to do it many times over. There's many times over the resources to do so. That's the thing as well. And again, it's going to be economically beneficial to do that for humanity. The problem is corpos right now, where there is a financial incentive, and the corpos are lobbying the government to create these systems so that these corpo systems can like extract as much wealth as possible from humanity. How is my better dressed Sean Mendes with a firefighter face? Level up. Are you? Stop flattering me, friend. I love you enough already. I'm gonna have to come and find you and marry you or something if you continue like that. Sending you so much love. I'll send you a message tonight before I drop. I'll try to channel you again, just like last year. I see a channel of white light shooting up and then making this dome effect around you, Toast. Sending you the vibes, Brother Bear. Have a good time. Morning, all. Joining a bit late, but great to see you all. You're here now. There's no late. There's only the now, Mojo. And we see you. Thank you for joining me, friend. Thank you for joining us. This is such a good stream. My eyes are sweating. Feel it. Melt into it, dear Maxine. We love you, dear friend. Thank you for bringing the great energy today. I feel in you. We love you. Thank you, Jovan, for bringing yourself here to the experience as well. The owner of this specific bud shop that I know about drives a Bugatti and parks it there right in front to flex it off. Meanwhile, his employees make almost minimum wage. None of my business. Yeah, dude. It's like it's so backwards. It's so backwards. And then that same person, when you go and talk to them about raising your minimum wage, he'll look you dead in the eye and he'll tell you, we don't have the funds. We don't have the money to pay you more. Literally parking his Bugatti outside, you know? Excuse me, what? Do you want to sleep forever? Why? When Jamie Foxx says, "You ready to come live?" makes me break down so damn good. You ready to come live? To come live? To come alive? Are you ready to come alive? I don't know if this is the same thing, but I had this emotional experience listening to this talk about we don't need more consumers, we don't need more producers. We need people that are coming alive, right? In your heart of heart, coming alive, like wanting to be alive in this world. That's what we need more of. Your background should be where they shoot House of Dragons. You think so? I'm happy you like it, friend. I would like to share more of it with you, but maybe they'll change the aspect ratio. I wish they could like give us like a whole vertical slice though. That would be pretty cool as well. I was feeling a bit meh, but joining you guys fills me with such joy. My problems seem much more manageable. Change of perspective. Who needs tears? Like hearing stuff like that is exactly why I do this. That's why I'll never stop, right? Hey, Truman is here again. It's nice to have you, friend. Ashley as well. It's nice to have you again. Yeah. Yeah. The ability to share hope with one another. That in this current state of reality, hope is definitely a rare resource. And we get to share that with one another. Thank you for sharing some hope with me too. For sharing the hope that I can share hope. I appreciate that, Who Needs Tears. Yes, Mal, that was reminding you of the fun we was having. Thank you, Savina. I appreciate that. I do remember. Man, you like literally started my day off so well. I appreciate that, Savina. Thank you. Thanks for asking, Malti. Thank you for telling me, dear friend. Jovan, sending more energy. NGO is joining us too. Namaste. It's nice to have you. Thank you for joining us, dear friend. Energy received and reflected. So much love. Giving so perfect kiss for Toasty, but universe aligning nicely recently. Shwam, shwam, shwam. All of these pathways opening up. The universe is conspiring to help you. How about that? Pronoia. Instead of living in a state of paranoia, oh no, will things be okay? Oh no, I'm so scared. Oh, what's gonna happen next? To be like, oh goodness, what is life gonna show me next? What's gonna happen next? What new fantastical experiences will life teach me? What things will I have to experience? What things will I have to share? The universe is conspiring to help us. That we are fated to succeed. Lol, his awoken third eye needs to sign off for third eye Tinder. For other third eyes, yes. Yes, my third eye has been kind of lonely as of late, leveled up. Like, unironically, I've been missing intimacy. I've been kind of like, I want to say kind of a hermit, but I have been a hermit, guaranteed 100%, absolutely a hermit for a long time. I've been single for 4 years. NGO, don't say anything. The universe will hear you. Did I miss something? No, I didn't. I was referencing Soul and Jamie Foxx. Oh, okay. Yeah. I I'm sorry, Maxine. Thank you for letting me know. Joe Gardner. When he was the cat and said to 22, you ready to come live? Okay. Now I'm with you. Thank you for tuning me in. Third Eye Tinder, Lamar. I like unironically kind of sounds like a vibe, kind of sounds like a vibe. You just like imagine that. I'm like the way that my mind is picturing it. Instead of seeing the body, right, the fleshy part of ourselves, you're signing up to Tinder as your third eye, right? Like as the quintessential consciousness, as the observer from your perspective and the things that you most dearly like to perceive, dearly like to share with others, the things you would like to perceive alongside another. And then you match up based on that. Who said that? That was funny. It was leveled up on the you now. Thank you, dear friend, for creating so beautifully with us. Have you ever seen Caroline melt? I don't think I have. Can't say that I do know what you're talking about right now, Joy V. Is it a movie? A show? Do let me know. I've been a hermit for years. Like would not go out socially. Concussion. Concussion. Then pandemic. I have made it a sincere intention of mine to go out at least once a week. Thank you for doing that, friend. I think it's important for us to, and this is the closest I can get to going out. I don't have the resources right now to travel. Unfortunately, like it literally costs me about $100. No more. It cost me a little bit more than $100 just to get to my closest friends in South Africa. In South Africa. That is like an actual quarter of what I'm earning a month right now. So if I try to do that once a month, then it would devastate me, literally. But that is temporary. And the fact that we get to be social, get to connect with one another in this way, it makes me happy that we get to at all. Thank you for coming here, for taking some time to spend some time with us as well, who needs tears. Fellow hermit here. It is okay. We found one another. We get to be hermits together now. It's okay to hermit. We'll surface along with Namor in the new Wakanda movie with all of the zombie. Thank you for the encouragement. Yes, Wakanda forever. We're going. Right, Toast? I feel like some comments might not be showing up. So I'm reading some comments on the you now as well. I have fulfilled the wish and I desire for the past 5 weeks and it feels amazing. Who needs tears? Thank you for putting yourself out there, dear friend. For not only allowing yourself that experience, but allowing others the experience of you, dear friend. I appreciate that. Introvert over here. I think we probably all are. Staying home is wonderful. I agree. I agree. Favorite stuff is here. I was out all day and evening yesterday. Never happened. I was out all day and evening yesterday. That never happens. It was wild. Was it a good time at least, JV? Did you enjoy it? Was it a little bit draining? Are you happy? Like, and this is what I also remind myself of. When I go out, I appreciate being home all the more again as well. It's like the balance that we kind of find. I still value and cherish my time at home, but it's really nice to connect with live music and humans. Please continue to. I agree completely. It allows us, in my opinion, to appreciate the connectedness of our home even more, the sanctuary of our home even more. I only leave to go grocery shopping. How do you feel about that? Shan, I've discovered that pickup grocery app. I don't even need to go into the grocery store anymore. Just pull up and they load. True. I did that as well when I was in China. It kind of devastated me, but I didn't have people to go out with while I was in China as well. So double wreck. I'm an extrovert once or twice a year and in short 6 hour bursts. Too real twist. When people see the way I am and my archetype and they're like, yeah, that guy is an extrovert. And then 95% of my time is spent completely alone, trying to recover my energy, trying to cultivate sense of calm, loving kindness within myself. And that's not what people see. They just see the burst of energy that comes out, after we have cultivated all of it. One of my favorites at this time of year, Joy Vive. Caroline, nature, and bikes are the best friends for me right now. Continue having them, friend. Please continue going out. Nature is good for your brain. Kind of sick to my stomach and tired, actually. Thanks for asking, Joy Vive. Thank you for letting me know. But now, being home feels even more tangible. You get to appreciate it even more. Protect your neck. I mean, energy, Joy Vive. My mom came to town on my birthday, and we painted the town red. You didn't tell me to sing for you, Joy V. Your fault. I had this bar of feeling bad, and then I was like, but I did tell you to tell me, and then the bar went back to zero. Actually, it's like at 22 right now or something. Love you, Joy V. Again, a happy birthday to you, dear friend. Completely understand that feeling. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, literally. They don't even deliver to your door. I guess they do. Some of them do, but depending on where you live, that's true as well. Savina, I've tried to get delivery, but the spots are never available. Not a big deal. I do get a bit of stir crazy, and I stay inside all day, every day. Spend some time outside as well. You deserve that as well. Your archetype? Let me know a Pokeball at you. You must be rare. Your archetype. Archetype to me is like I believe an archetype are these fundamental ways of being that have been for as long as we've been. A little bit of a backwards way of saying it, but this energy that we are, as human beings, has this capacity to repeat itself. On a DNA level, we express in a certain way and we show up in a certain way in this world. And sure, where each and every single one of us are infinitely unique and complex, there will be similarities that arise from that infinity. And one of the similarities that I find within myself is this certain type of archetype of, it's like there's this show, for example, called Black Clover, Asta and Yuno. Yuno is my best friend Christian, and I consider myself the Asta character. And this Asta character is just unstoppable, not unstoppable from the perspective of actually being unstoppable, but unstoppable from the perspective of unwilling to stop, right? Like unwilling to stop, like continually pushing, making claims that sound absolutely ridiculous. Like one of the claims that I make is I want to save the world, right? And I'm just a small little human being on a absolutely unfathomably large planet. It's impossible for me to save the world. But I claim this as a responsibility for myself because if I don't, who will? And if I'm not willing to, why would anybody else be willing to? And then in showing up for that willingness to save the world, We start showing up together, and that is how we actually save the world as a collective together. Your audience sounds like a bunch of Animal Crossing players. Yeah, I'm just super crazy leveled up. I actually don't have an audience, you know. I have like multiple voices in my head. No, I'm lying. I have a YouTube channel as well. We have a bunch of friends tuning in. It's such a beautiful community. They absolutely melt my heart every single day. I ate the Liberty Caps yesterday for the first time solo, and I felt Earth's initiation. It's cliche, but I get it now. I'm happy to hear it, NGO. Welcome. Welcome. We are here. The paradigm is shifting. The initiation has started, and you are a contributor. I don't have my own transportation, so I need a ride if I need to go anywhere. I use a grocery pickup, but I'm super particular about my produce, which my diet is mostly consists of, so doing it myself is a must. I agree. And being able to pick the stuff that you want to eat is just great as well. I don't drive either, Shan. I totally understand, Shan. I miss the farmer's market in CA. You could always go back. Huh? Have you considered going back, Maxine? I think we've asked before, but I want to ask again. And I love ordering groceries, and I hate peeps picking out my produce and fruit too. I felt so. Yes, Melty, it makes me feel like a grain of sand on the beach, but I'm being taught over and over that real change has to start within ourselves first. Exactly. All change all change started from the self. You know, a single person has been able to change the world before. You can too. Believe that about yourself. Take that as your truth. Animal Crossing characters. Man, I think Star Wars. My mind feels so wired right now, Sabina. And Joe, it's beautiful reborn, my dudes. Yes, continue staying in that reborn state, right? Moment to moment, you're being reborn. Taking a breath, choosing life. Dying, releasing the air. Choosing life again. Dying again. Actively being reborn. Soy to Papa Miju. I guess that's also a Animal Crossing reference, possibly. I love driving Joy Vive now that I got over my fear of driving again. But I can't afford my own vehicle or anything to maintain a vehicle. Like, people don't actually realize that owning a vehicle is quite literally twice as expensive as they thought it would be, with maintenance, fuel costs. I don't know if you have these in America, but we have to pay tolls as well. So driving on the roads, you have to pay for driving on the roads. They're like, yeah, thank you for driving on the road. Now pay us because you drove on the road. And then if you don't, then you cannot continue driving on the road. Man, just like extracting wealth. Like, yes, give us your money, human beings. Keep giving us your money. Oh, yeah, we can provide you with stable energy. No, we can't provide you with healthcare. Like, our schools are literally falling apart, and our educational system is like decades behind. But keep giving us money. Yeah, keep giving us all of your monies. It's ridiculous. There's no going back once you leave here, unfortunately. California is too expensive, it's true. It's, I think, one of the most expensive states to live in right now. It's kind of ridiculous. Unless it's going to be Redwoods, I have no desire to go back to CA. Thank you for letting me know again, dear friend. Lol, yep, got it. Love you, toast. My mom lives in Eureka, in the Redwoods, Beansy. Maybe. I moved out to CA a few times, Joy, but North Dakota was the place that finally helped me grow roots outside of it. Holy crap, Joy. I used to live in Humboldt. You friends would know. It's I'm your father's son in Spanish. Oh, okay. Yeah. That is absolutely unequivocally gonna breaking the sound barrier so fast it's gonna go over my head. Is your audience just reaching puberty again for the second time? We're all actively cultivating our inner child, leveled up. uber inner childing. We refuse to grow up. I don't know why. Who convinced us to grow up? Whoever convinced us to grow up, we need to stop them. I wanted to say something more brutal, but we just need to stop them. We pay with vehicle registration and taxes. Yeah. They're like, yeah, how about give us more money? How about that? How about I'm gonna get myself in like an electric wheel, dude. I refuse to drive a combustion engine as well. Farmer markets are best, Maxine. There aren't any where you are now. Might be too cold actually. Some places have toll roads, but they're usually privately funded roads. I don't know. I wouldn't know either. It's one big scary sham that these oligarchs gonna be shaking in their boots deep down. Literally, dude. And I wish I could just feed them mushrooms as well. Kind of like shake them up a little bit. Be like, yeah, pay attention. There is allegedly one in town, but I'm suspicious. Check it out. Check it out, Maxine. You'll only know by knowing, right? We have a few toll roads. That's because they were privately financed to make. The majority is meant to be funded by road tax. Yeah, and we pay road tax as well, and we pay taxes like we pay tax on literally everything. Literally everything. Anything you buy in our country comes with a 14. No, it's 15%. 15, like they upped it recently. 15% tax. So every single thing I have ever bought in my life has been taxed. I've been paying tax since I was a 5 year old. My mom giving me a 5 rand coin, which is like 30 cents. My mom gave me 30 cents, when I was 7 years old. Going to the tuck shop, I could buy myself a packet of chips and like a piece of candy. Even then, I was paying tax. Assholes. It's okay to claim save the world, but literally, what shampoo and hair care does now anyway? They'll clear your acne and fill your taxes for you, lol. Yeah, like try rather try and find things without phthalates. It's just the advice I'd give on that point. Why suspicious, if I may ask? I'm confused as well. Unfortunately, I'm suspicious. Yeah, maybe maybe she doesn't know if there would be a place because I was spoiled in CA. There's a variety of sections and veggies. Organic is a huge thing in CA, and it's not a thing out here. Not yet. Don't make absolute statements, Maxine. Add yet. Might be worth checking out and investigating. I agree. Shaking in their red bottom boots. Boots with the fur. We have toll bridges here. Oh damn, no organic for real. Our VAT, which is on everything, is 20%. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, everything you have ever purchased, you pay as tax for that. Why? Because we say so. Oh, and then also, if you die, you pay as tax. Oh, and also if you buy a car, you pay as tax. Oh, and also if you earn any money, you pay as tax. Oh, oh, okay. Why? So that we can continue to tax you. Yeah, we'll spend this taxpayer money. Like I think in America is the worst culprit of that. 873, is it million or is it billion? I want it to be million. 873 million US dollars spent on military like expenses. Yeah, give us your money and then we'll kill people with it. So Vina, there are some careless heroes in Oregon who go around filling the potholes with pot sand. Pot plant. That's cool. Damn, that's high sales tax. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. It like I'm at a loss. Inflation, just inflation. That year on year on year, the money you have is worth less. And then they're like, oh yeah, we need inflation because if we don't have inflation, people won't be incentivized to spend their money. Are you stupid? People don't need incentives to spend their own money, dude. People like spending money. People will spend their money, but yeah, it's like a way for them to steal more and more and more of your money year on year on year. The South Africans are multiplying. You don't. Yeah, you don't know the stairway to heaven isn't the cheap archangel have to sweep up the mud from the bare feet on the way up here tax now. That's just like over my head as well, unfortunately leveled up. I'm not exactly sure what you mean. Non-GMO isn't well over here. Is it right? Capitalist, Pippi and Eva, they're playing, they're having a good time. Even pensions, you know what you pay tax on when you're paid in. You pay tax on when you get it out. Tax upon tax upon tax. It's it's like pissing me off, you know. And I came into this world and they're like, yeah, this is the way it is. And I'm like, oh, why? Because that's the way it is, oh. And if you don't do it, like we'll arrest you and stuff. And then if they arrest you, the taxpayers will pay for my food. At this point, you know, I'm kind of down. You know, maybe going to jail would be a little bit of a vibe. At least I'll have food and a place to live. Might be nice. What's the deal with organic and non-GMO in South Africa, Melty? Are they easily accessible? Pretty much so. There's a bunch of people that do non-GMO as well. I mean, yeah, there's no such thing actually, by the way. Organic maybe, but non-GMO does not exist. Who needs tears? Everything is genetically modified. Everything. Look at me. Everything that the original foods we had, the corn, the strawberries, the tomatoes, we genetically modified by breeding pairs together over and over and over and over again, selectively breeding for the, you know, features we want. Everything is genetically modified. It's impossible for you to eat anything that's not genetically modified right now. Organic, when it comes to pesticides, especially Roundup, that is a whole other thing, right? That I'm pro. Hey, Uncle Becky is here with us too. So much love to you. Don't worry, Melty. I'm in cahoots with the organic non-GMO movement. I even work in the organic food company. I'm slowly infiltrating. Yeah, on the shipment. Yeah. Get it. Taxes and laundry. Taxes and laundry, like having to wash your clothes. Why can't we just be naked? Yeah, being naked would be so much better. I feel like I would like being naked right now with the amount of heat that's happening, but uh, usually no. Usually no. Right. In the genetically modified everything, I crossbred my canna plants. I feel you. And I don't think it's bad. I think we're moving into an age where we'll actually be able to genetically modify our foods with CRISPR and stuff like that as well. And we'll need to. We'll need to, who needs tears? Otherwise, we'll die. Like we'll have to engineer plants that will be resistant to climate change, that will be able to make the most of the soil that they're put in, that will be able to extract as much carbon from the air as possible, use as little water as possible. This is the future we're heading into. You know, magic or any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic. Realize that. And we're becoming magical. Do they call you Melty? Sometimes. Melty, I like Melt. Melt is, I consider myself Melt, and I consider you friends more, especially more than me, right? Not only in the context of there's more of you than there is of me, but I also see you as God leveled up. So you are more than just me, if that makes sense, right? More than just the me you consider yourself as. And then when we come together, we melt into melt more. Call you melty. Sounds like a more advanced sweaty plus tier. Melty. I feel pretty melty in that case right now. Like my pants are literally soaked with sweat. It's like 42 degrees Celsius here. Too much information, you say? I'm sorry. I'm viscerally and sometimes to my own detriment honest. Genetically modified refers to changing it in labs. I'm okay with that as well, Savina. Selectively breeding is something different, which has been around longer than science labs. It's true. I'm okay with both, right? I'm okay with both. I want to eventually eat blueberries the size of apples. And if we have to genetically modify them with CRISPR to do so, sign me up. I don't care. I don't care. There's no separation, right? If it has the nutrients, if it has the macros, it will do its job. It will do its job. Fortunately, we only have three macros to consume: fats, proteins, and sugars, carbohydrates, right? Those are the only things. So as long as they contain those things, we'll be fine. Fiber as well, technically, but fiber is a part of the carbohydrates. Doing all right, Tiger. How are you? It's crazy how hard it can be in certain parts of the world to avoid GMO. Plus the fluoride. Yeah, don't even get me started. I sleep naked. I do too, occasionally these days. Not a lot anymore. Like, the thing is, when I sleep naked, I wake up in like cold sweats sometimes, and I don't particularly enjoy that. Sorry for the typos. Got my point. Love you nonetheless, friend. Nothing wrong with fluoride. I don't know anything. Everything may be genetically modified, but have you ever heard of Monsanto? Yep, evil AF company. I agree. I agree completely. 100,000% if you want that one. Fuck Monsanto. Like, actually, the amount of harm they're doing to the collective humanity, you can literally see all of these diseases increase, like chronic inflammation because of the amount of bullshit they're putting into our soils. Oh my goodness, watching you chomp a blueberry the size of an apple would be so baby cute. Like the size of a caterpillar. Suddenly, you put me in a mind state where I want to be a caterpillar eating a blueberry. Thank you, leveled up. Yes, would be such a vibe actually. Joy Vive, imagine if there's a fire, you are unconscious, and a fireman comes in to rescue you while you're in bed. Super low levels. Like that sounds like the plot for a super sexy film, Savina. Just to like sprinkle a little bit of spice there. Super low levels of it right now is a threat to all of the hype. Yeah. Bzz, bzz. That's a way they leverage themselves over mom and pop criminals. It's true. Its lettuce tastes like cheeseburger and cabbage tastes like pizza. I'd eat more healthy. Maybe. I don't have too much time left. We have like 15 minutes. No. Yeah, like 15 minutes before I have to do my sangha. So I'm gonna pull a card, read the meaning thereof. Safina, my ex, used to ask me, what if it emergency since I sleep naked? It asks at least once a year. I'd give the answer. I'd put some clothes on. Yeah. I'd grab myself a robe or something. How was your weekend, Melty? Very much the same as the rest of my week. I didn't have traditional weekends, Connor. So for me, like every single day is a whole existence, a whole life. But today was good. Thank you, Brother Bay. How was your weekend, man? Only works if you're conscious. Joy Vives too. Nestle is also evil, Thirsty. Oh yeah, you know, the CEO of Nestle tuning, water is not a human right. Lettuce, non-GMO, pull a card. Lettuce, non-GMO, pull a card. I'm pulling a card. This is the one. Upside down. Ooh. I feel when I see this card, I think about Joy Vive especially. Compassionate Pele. The compassionate Pele. And we pull it upside down, so I'll read the upside down meaning first. Indifference numbs. Wake up to the compassion of your heart. How about that? Indifference numbs. Wake up to the compassion of your heart. But they make Nestle Crunch bars. I feel like a wrung out towel. Still want to spend some love your way. Thank you, Connor. Sending that love right back. Yeah, fire. Legit. Look at that fire she's cultivating in our heart. Holding that fire for all of us. Holding a baby in our arms is long that. Beautiful woman of color. Whew. If Mama Gaia was a woman, she would absolutely be a woman of color. Compassion is not passive. It is actively opening the heart to the awareness of the interdependence of all things, including other creatures, nature, and the inanimate world. At our core essence, we exist as pure unconditional love. Realizing empathy and concern for others, we sometimes forget the essence, or in our emotional immaturity, act as if we have. Compassion is the embodiment of emotional maturity and a clue to better understanding our humanness. Compassionate Pele now becomes an example and a guide for those who are intentionally remembering their soul essence. Hearts, created from sacred geometry's golden spiral, inform your movement towards emotional maturity. As we mature together, we will realize hope for the human race. Let this card be a reminder to walk the path of peace and compassion in every way, every day. Know that your every thought, word, and action has an effect on the whole and touches the spirit of every other being. Walk in awareness with compassion for all of creation. Huh? Literally perfectly synchronous with today's stream topic as well. Make the choice to be compassionate today, friends. Thank you for the good time opening up the multiverse for me. Thank you for appreciating and experiencing it with me too, dear friend. I look forward to seeing you friends again soon. I have a YouTube channel called Melt More. We're trying to hit 1,000 subs. We're at 850 right now. If you want to help us hit that goal, I would appreciate it. I'll see you again soon. I'm gonna say bye for now. Fire card, great card. You friends are the ones. Love the layering. Love you. Thank you for joining me. My last psychic session with my friend. He pulled this card. Trippy. Boom shakalaka. We're here, Brother Bear. Thank you for being compassionate with me. I look forward to seeing you friends again soon. Goodbye. Bye to you, Sabina. When is the Sangha? In 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I have to actually rush. I'll see you again soon. Love you. Goodbye, dear friends. Bye bye. Toast.